Good morning. We all have different convictions. We have different preferences. We have different sensitivities to our conscience. Conviction can be a term that's used sometimes a little loosely. Sometimes conviction can mean that thing that you would die for. Some people say it like that. Sometimes you can just have a particular conviction, meaning something that you strongly think is appropriate or inappropriate. We live in a world of preferences. We live in a world where our consciences come to bear. There's a lot of different ways that we land and things that form us. We have different traditions. We have different things we value. We have different things that we think would be the best way to do something. Those things are a little different than settled doctrine. They're different than clear moral rights and clear moral wrongs that Scripture is unequivocal about, is very clearly stated. Romans 14 addresses these kinds of issues, and it uses as examples things like eating meat that might be sacrificed to an idol, or eating meat in different settings that was associated with religious observance back in the first century. It talks about observing one day versus another, things like this. And the point is that people come from different traditions, different backgrounds, and they may have preferences. And some people might even feel strongly about them. There may be baggage with celebrating a particular day with the previous pagan holidays that they had. It may be baggage with eating meat if it was sacrificed to idols and so forth. And Paul is careful to say, don't go against your conscience. Don't feel like you have to go against your conscience. Whatever you do it as to the Lord, meaning do it confidently and do it as an offering to Him. And so if you eat and you feel free to do that, then eat confidently to the Lord. If you don't, then abstain to the Lord. If you feel you should observe this day, then do it and honor the Lord in it. And if you don't feel like you should, then don't. And in refraining, you'll honor the Lord. It's in that context that Romans 14:13 reads this way: "Therefore let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother." Therefore let us not pass judgment on one another. This is a negative one another. One of the things we have to be careful of is entering into areas of preference, areas of personal conscience, areas of personal conviction that's not settled in Scripture, that's not clear as a moral don't, and then legislating and passing judgment. Right? You see the guy with the tattoos? Can you believe that guy? See the person who voted for this platform? Can you believe that person? We have different ways. The person, he drinks or he doesn't drink alcohol, and we angle, right? And we import and impute. And what we have to do is stop and say, let's not pass judgment on each other. Once we get outside of the clear moral confines, the clear ethical confines, and the clear doctrinal confines of Scripture, let's act within our conscience and do so to the Lord. And let's regard the conscience of others, but let's do so without passing judgment on others. It doesn't contribute to body life, and it doesn't contribute to what we mentioned in the previous thought for the day, harmony. So don't pass judgment on one another. That's my encouragement for you today.